Hey, my wonderful Virgo placements. Christina here, Ginger Mama, coming at you with your month of June extended Tarotscope. I'm so happy to be back. I did Tarotscopes last year on my YouTube channel and in January, but then I took a pause. I wasn't quite sure if it was worth my time, but so many people have asked me to bring them back, so here I am bringing it back for all of you. I'm so excited. All right, Virgos, this is interesting because the Emperor reversed comes out in the Page of Pentacles. Exactly what I was channeling for you. Hold on one second. Let's first dive into the channeled image song that was coming in for me. It was a song. Maybe music is significant for you this month, okay? For starters, there was also the line approval not required or desired. You're like, I don't need your approval. It's not required and it's not desired. And hey, I kind of like that vibe, but at the same time, there was a little bit, the song coming in, what was it? It was Save Your Tears for Another Day. It's like, you're just like, yeah, like I don't know why I run at times, but I don't care. That's who I am. I do not need your approval. That's not required. Also, dancing in a crowded room. Dancing in a crowded room. It's like, you're just doing what you want to do. And while I like that vibe to a degree, the Emperor reversed is someone that can abuse their power or authority. There's someone that has to be in control, has to be in the driver's seat. And it feels like you're giving the bare minimum to those around you, all right? So pay attention to this, Virgos. We have a full moon in Sagittarius starting on June 3rd. Full moons are a great time to release, okay? And maybe you need to release some of this need for control or reflect on where it comes from, okay? It feels like the first couple weeks of June are going to be a big like reflection for you. Like, yeah, you don't need anyone's approval, but at the same time, like, are you hurting others within that? Like, are things really done? Or are you trying to control the outcome because you're afraid to be emotionally invested, vulnerable, and available? So yeah, that full moon in Sag, great time to release what does not serve you. Great time to reflect and ask what is done and why. June 5th, we have Venus entering Leo. Which I love, like Leo energy, also like that Sagittarius energy, fire sign energy. That's our spirit, that's our drive, that's our forward momentum. This can increase creative endeavors, creativity, love, romance, maybe a focus on that, maybe reflection on that, right? Do you have victory because something's done? Do you feel better because you let something go? Or are you running because you're afraid of emotional intimacy and actually, you're trying to control a situation? Virgos, we're going to figure it out, okay? We're going to figure it out. June 10th, we have the last quarter moon in the sign of Pisces. So again, this is going to highlight significant endings in your life. Now, a lot of this energy with Pisces is highly spiritual energy, everyone. This is about deep subconscious work, inner child work, reflecting, Virgo, on like why you hold these tendencies. How did you grow up? Who were your parents? What were the family dynamics? Where were you in the sibling thread, the cousin thread, whatever it might be for you? Really reflecting. Am I in the same controlling patterns as a parent or someone before me? Is there a generational curse I am repeating? Maybe some of you ancestors tapping in with you or sending you signs and synchronicities, but you're kind of pushing that away. You're like, no way, no way. So pay attention because it feels like the first, 2 weeks of June could be a little bit rocky for you if you're not mindful of that, okay? I'm telling you right now, it's like, are you emotionally available? Because right now, the Nine of Cups reversed, like you're drained emotionally. Your wishes are not being fulfilled in some way. Yes, you feel like you have victory in some way. And maybe that's really that independent energy for you right now. But there's something beneath the surface. Yeah. It's like you really need to take an action to speak truth. And you're trying to do that and you're doing it in some way, but it's like still this controlling energy. Yeah, it's not equal give and take. It's not balanced. It's not harmonious, okay? Really tap in with that. What do I desire? What does it feel like to give and to receive? Because it feels like there's a block here on one of those things. Either you overgive or you overtake. It's like, no, like we want to feel really good when we give and when we receive. in communication, in time, in emotional vulnerability, in finances, in all of it across the board. It is all energy, Virgos. Please be aware too on June 10th, Pluto, so Pluto is in the sign of Capricorn since roughly 2008, and my bird's squeaking out there. We saw a lot of conversation and dialogue within the collective over things like politics, finances. Think of all the things that have happened since 2008. There's been a lot, right? And crumbling of traditional institutions or restructuring and reframing of those, which is what Capricorn is here to do. It likes tradition, it likes commitment. Maybe you were in that vibe. However, Pluto moving into Aquarius, which happened in March, late March, challenges that idea. It says, wait a second, what's the larger construct? What's the larger picture here? What do we really desire and why? By the way, Aquarius card, I'm like, oh, there it is. And some of you might be struggling with that. Virgo is a fellow earth sign of Capricorn. So for you, it might be difficult to let go of these ideas of how finances are made, how relationships are structured, what tradition is, etc. It's not that you have to let go of it all, Virgos. It's not that. It's just asking, what do you want going forward? If you want authentic commitment or a one-track lane in work, in career, in love, then yes, embrace that. But understand that a lot of other people are expressing and experiencing other ways of handling that energy, okay? So this is you asking what you really want. It's almost like you feel like there's no other option than the path that you were on. So Pluto, even though it's going into Aquarius, it'll sit there pretty much for the next 20 years. There's going to be a slight in and out retrograde period with Capricorn as we do this. So June 10th, Pluto is going to go back into Capricorn. So some of you the last few months, maybe you've had a lot more diversity in your love life or your career opportunities, etc. And suddenly you're getting back into that situation of like, okay, I need to complete cycles. I need to finish projects. I need to get clear and decisive about who I do and do not want in my reality and why. Yeah, especially with money. Look at this, Virgos. You guys are set with finances. And FYI, whatever you are doing financially, I think you're questioning that with these cards. No, stay decisive on that path. You are set financially. You might be a little uncomfortable though, because Spirit's asking you, what is the karmic energy with which that requires? Is this really aligned with you? Are you just chasing money? Or are you also opening up emotionally? These are simultaneous experiences that we're having, okay? The duality, the polarity there. Six of Pentacles reversed. If you are not giving loving, nurturing energy, communication, vulnerability, proper sexual contact, whatever it might be, and you're only obsessed with finances, you're gonna have a kickback. You wanna be giving both. The more you can give both, the more your finances stay stable, okay? Because there is a feeling here of something's karmic or questioning maybe your career. Is that the right path for you? Maybe you make a ton of money, but you want to restructure in some way, or you're questioning if that's really the way to go. Yes, move quickly here, move quickly, okay? June 17th, we have Saturn beginning its retrograde in Pisces. Retrograde, you guys, is just when a planet goes backwards. And Saturn is focused on restriction, okay? Structure again. And this being in the sign of Pisces is going to be more restricting our intuitive downloads, or it's going to feel like that. It's not that Spirit is not with you, the higher realms are not with you. It's just you might have some breakthroughs earlier in the month spiritually, and then suddenly you're like, where'd they go? Where'd they go? Am I in trouble? It's not that you're in trouble. It's just Spirit's asking you to really clear karmic energy right now, okay? And release this. To really ask your subconscious, what do I want and why? If you are stalled out, if you are afraid to take a leap of faith, this energy is going to continue to build and be uncomfortable. Ideally, Virgos, you guys are going to release things that do not serve you, relationships, careers, etc., earlier in the month, and get clear about what you do want to commit to, okay? You really want to focus on this. And if you cannot do the proper release work of whatever that control is that you're holding on to, it's unique to each of you, then there's going to be a lot more restriction come June 17th and June 18th. June 18th is the new moon. And I always tell people, 5:55 as I say this, I always tell clients, new moons can hit you harder energetically than a full moon if you're not doing the work. So if you're someone that feels like with the moon cycles, they're ramping up, you're like, why am I under energetic drama every 2 weeks? It's because you're not fully releasing with the full moon to embrace and welcome in the new moon. The new moon should be good. It should be romantic. It should feel good. And if it's not feeling good for you by June 18th, that is a red flag alert that there is something you did not let go of earlier in the month. Okay, you can always get back on track, but you need to pay attention. The Empress here, many of you embodying this Empress energy or thinking about divine feminine energy, we all hold both. But the Empress is creative, is fertile, is confident, is sexy. Like they sit there and they know what's up. They know it. And it's like, are you holding reverence for that, respect for that, like in yourself and in others? Or is there like a lag here? It's almost like a clouded like belief that there's manipulation through that beauty. And it's like you have to see your own beauty within that is kind of the energy. Yeah. I mean, the Lovers here. You guys have love here. Look at this. And by the way, be very mindful of pregnancy right now. I want to point that out. Unless you want to get pregnant, be very mindful. It just feels like any love encounters you're having definitely have the ability for babies. And maybe some of you guys want children. That would be wonderful. But for those of you that do not, be very mindful where you're spreading those seeds, okay, Virgos? Because if you're hooking up with lots of people, there's just an energy here of being careful, okay? If you've manifested love, it is here. It is here. The question is, are you willing to take a leap of faith? Are you willing to surrender this need to have finances set in a certain way in order to attain or have love? Sometimes Virgos can get in that energy of they're so intuitive, but they're like, I have to be grounded in the financial energy before I can tap in with the emotional or sexual energy that might be there. Do not get stuck in that, okay? You don't want to miss this window. And this new moon is also in the sign of Gemini, I'd like to point out. So this is about anchoring that logic. This should feel good for you. It really should, Virgos. Yeah, anchoring those ideas financially, in love, anchoring them confidently. Okay, confidently, assertively, decisively, passionately. All of this. But there's something here where it's like that emotional piece. It's like it's not quite going to click if you're still trying to control everything, okay? On the 21st, we have the Cancer zodiac season beginning. So this is going to bring a lot more emotional support, or ask you to provide emotional support within connections and really reflect on, again, that Six of Pentacles reversed. If others are not equally giving to you or you're not giving to them emotionally, nurturing, like communication, these energies that are not as tangible as finances, it's going to be reflected and possibly again within your finances. It almost feels like you're starting out the month in a good financial situation, but if you're not careful about how you handle the energy throughout the month, by the end of the month, there could be more financial depletion. And that's not spirit punishing you. That's spirit trying to show you, hey, it's not all about money. You're not communicating. You're not opening up. You're not choosing other energy frequencies to also align with simultaneously. Okay, everyone? So pay attention to that, how we uplift others, how we can connect emotionally, okay? On the 26th, we have the first quarter moon in the sign of Libra. Oh, relationships right now, this is the 26th. They can feel a little tender, a little delicate. It's this finesse you need to hold with them. This energy of like, oh, it's not fighting energy. It's just this gentle energy of like, you're realizing something here. And it's very emotionally driven. It can be a very gentle, compassionate energy, but it can also be an energy, if you're not careful, that could blow up in your face. Okay, straight up. Three of Cups reversed and this Six of Swords. Look, if you want calmer waters, if you want a relationship with someone, if you feel that loving energy, that Empress energy, whether you identify more with feminine or masculine, We all hold both. Link in my bio, gingermama.com. If you'd like to see a free blog post of the breakdown of wounded and healed masculine and feminine energy. Make sure you're asking, where do I stand? Are you dating other people? Are you with other people? Who are we? What are we, right? Is this an open relationship dynamic, or are we committed to dating one another? I think you guys overthink this a lot, Virgos. There's this weird energy of like, it's almost like when you commit to a relationship, it's as though it's marriage. And the universe is kind of like, no, that would be a proposal. Your commitment to dating is separate from that. And so again, parsing that out, what does dating commitment look like, right? Exclusivity. What does that look like versus a proposal, versus a marriage, versus children, whatever it might be for you? Because I feel like there's a lot of energy with you where it's like, that's commendable that your commitment and dedication is so thought out and grounded when you do it. But other people don't see dating as like marriage. They see dating as that window. And so, especially if you're in a situationship with someone, you better get clear, because you might look at it as like, this is it. This is my person. Yeah, this is my happily ever after. I want to be committed. And they're out there hooking up with other people because they're like, no, you didn't define the connection, Virgo. Yeah, I'm happy with you too, but like, I thought we were available, single, open, free floating. And you might be surprised to find out what's going on. So don't lie to yourself, okay? It's not that you're not dependable, committed, and dedicated, but it's that you need to really speak the truth, okay? The truth will set you free. Ask. If somebody rejects you, abandons you, they do not want to be in relationship with you, that's okay, all right? That's okay. At least you know now, instead of walking through the steps of believing this is something that has not actually been spoken and defined, okay? We want to try to define that. So the 30th, we also have Neptune retrograde beginning again in the sign of Pisces. And so this can be a little bit of this clouded energy, this foggy energy, this smoke and mirrors energy, this difficulty. It's like murky waters, okay? It's like hard to focus, hard to follow our intuition. It's like we were so certain at certain points during the month, and now we're just like, but what? I swear I did the work. You did. It's okay, okay? Two of Swords, this is about full surrender. So especially if you did that work, you're opening up emotionally. Those murky waters are because you're not used to that, right? So allow yourself to be in that. Family, friends, or lovers, allow yourself to be in that. Continue to take action forward with both work and relationships. But really ask yourself here, the Queen of Cups reversed too, like, are you too much in your emotions? Ace of Cups reversed. Are you letting your emotions take control? Because I think, Virgo, normally you don't do that, but suddenly it's like this light switch is going off and you're letting only emotions run the show. And you want to bring it back to balance, okay? Or those around you that are experiencing that, you got to be very honest with yourself. Is this meant for me or no? Okay, if people are getting really in their emotions suddenly with you, it's like, is this an open, authentic way? Or is this like a toxic, wounded, manipulative way? All right, because you're at this crossroads where like emotions are being so highlighted for you, all right? So you've got this. I love you, Virgos. I'm telling you, it's all going to be good. You hang in there, okay? You can find me on TikTok as Ginger Mama LLC. You can find me on Instagram and soon to be Facebook as Ginger Mama with the 3 A's. My website, gingermama.com. You can book a personal client reading if you feel called, or receive free blog content. I also have some podcasts being released later this month if you'd like to listen there. I love you guys. Have a great day. I will see you next month.